Hello, welcome to the Easysoft online document training. During this webinar, I'll show you how to add your Word documents to the software, as well as edit them to autofill information directly from each closing. After you've logged in, you can click on a CD or a HUD. We want to go to your Real Estate Docs tab. And within this section is where we're going to do all of the work, where we upload the template, you can edit them, add to them, and pull in the fielding to autofill from the closing information. The first thing I want to show you is how to make sure you are in the right file type for your document. So here's an example. I have a buyer retainer, and I want to make sure that I'm in a .docx file type. So I'm going to click Save As, and I'm going to have the name of my file, and then underneath is the file type. So we want to make sure we're on .docx when we're importing to the software. If you're set on an RTF or a .doc, just change that and then you'll hit save. And then we'll be able to import our document. So the first thing I'm going to show you is if you want to start your document fresh in the software, you'll still have to import a blank page. So if I go into Upload Template, I'm going to browse my computer. I already have a blank document saved. I'm going to upload that. And you'll see here now my blank document, which I had named blank, is in the software. The first thing you can do is you can right click on it and you can rename it. So I'm just going to name this oil tank because I need to make a document regarding oil tanks on the properties. Oops. That reloaded because it's in alphabetical order, by the way. So we want to make sure that our document is highlighted, and then we can hit Edit Template. From here, you'll be able to build your document according to whatever you need for your closings. You'll see over to the left, we have all of our folders, and within each folder are the fielding options. So you'll see under info, we have today's date. My cursor's already in the document, so I can just double click, and then it's going to pull in today's date. You'll be able to create any type of document within the software. So where is all this information pulling from, right? Let me go back to that and show you the closing information. I'm going to save my document. It's going to let me know it's saved, and then I can go back. Remember, you're still within a closing, but we're setting up our document here. Here's today's date. So it already populated that within the document. Closing information. At the top, you want to click on your drop-down menu, and then we're going to click on Closing Information. Within these tabs is where all of your information is going to pull from. So you want to make sure that you're filling in specific information according to your documents you want to use for your closings. We have info, buyer, seller, property, mortgage payoff, lender, other attorney, realtor, title, government office, your firm, miscellaneous parties, and policy info. These are the same options you had within the template section. To get back into that closing, we'll just go closing disclosure. For the HUD, it's the same thing. There's closing information, and then you can get back to your HUD. So now I'm going to upload a document I've already had set that I've been printing outside of the software. And I'm going to field it while we're on this webinar. It's my buyer retainer. you'll see that it populated here. And please note, see all my X's that I've put in? That's where I want to use some fielding. So it auto populates for each closing. So I'm going to click Edit Template. And now I'll be able to field my document. So I'm going to actually remove the first X. So this agreement dated, and we're going to put that in as the closing date, right? So under info is your closing date. My cursor is blinking in there, so I can double click on that. And then there's my closing date. Now, I had my X's bolded, so what I want to do is I'm going to actually take that bold out so then it doesn't it doesn't stick out too much. And then we're going to put in the client's information. So this will be probably our buyers, obviously our buyer retainer. So I can close down my info section, open up the buyer, and then I can choose what I'd like in here. Do I want the buyer names? There might be multiple buyers. If there are, it'll put an and in between. So I'm going to actually enter that in here if there's multiple buyers. And then I'm going to remove this last X, and that's going to be the property address. So we want to go to property. And I'm going to do property full address. We're going to do horizontal. So at the bottom, you'll see I have 2 lines here. So I want to have the buyer names populate. So they have signature lines on this. So the first one I'm going to do is I'll go back to buyer. I'll do buyer name 1. And then remove that, and then the buyer name 2. Now, you might have to work on a little alignment, but just like a Word document, you're able to do this right within the software. Okay. Once you've entered all of the information in that you want to populate onto your document, make sure to hit save at the top. Your template's going to be saved. Click OK, and then the back. Wonderful. The agreement date, March 1st. So my closing date was March 1st. My borrower names are actually borrower 1 and borrower 2. Don't get confused by that. And then here's our property address, and then the names at the bottom for them to sign. So your document is created. Now, that's just creating the template to use across the board for all of your closings. What if we need to make this specific for the closing you're in? We would be able to add information here. So let's say perhaps we have a number 7, right? And then we're just going to put testing. So what I'm going to do is, because it's specific for this closing, that's why this save button is on this screen. Okay, so we're not editing the template. We are making it specific to this closing. So I'm going to hit save. Wonderful. And once I hit save, now it's available under File Docs. That means it's for this specific file, right? So you'll see the word testing at the bottom here. But if I were to click on buyer retainer, this is the one I was just in, correct? It's going to reload it. And that information is not going to be there because that was the template. Okay. So once you've gone through the process of adding in your templates, and now we need to actually print this information out. It's very important to remember to print out your real estate documents. We have to be in this real estate docs tab and then click print at the top of the page. Once we click print, it's a little bit different, obviously, than when we're printing out our closing disclosure or our settlement statements. And then I'm just going to hit print. It's going to do the same thing it does when you print out a CD or a HUD. And here's my document here. So just remember, when you're printing, you have to be within the real estate docs tab, have that document highlighted, and then you can print it out. If you have any questions, you can reach out to support. At the bottom of every page, you'll see the support link. You can contact us through there. We have live chat Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can also contact us 7 days a week through our support link, and let me click on that. You'll be able to send in a case that will be answered the next business day. We also have our articles here. You can send us any feedback, or you can also contact us by phone through our 800 number, and support is now extension 3. Thank you so much.